Hey there, Eric Schmidt at Winfield & Associates Marketing and Advertising here again to share my knowledge of pay-per-click advertising. Do me a favor and like my YouTube channel. If you have questions as you watch this video, post them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer you. Today I'm going to talk about geographic targeting when setting up ads in Google, Facebook, or any other pay-per-click platform. You might be wondering, hey, this seems kind of simple. I just target the area I want to do business, right? Well, that part is simple, but we've learned some tips and tricks over the years, and mostly the hard way. I'm going to go into Google Ads here, and we'll use the geographic targeting function to run through some scenarios and how to handle them. We'll start with a basic one, and I'll use the area I'm in as an example. A business located in Raleigh, North Carolina might have customers in the entire Triangle area, which includes Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. However, the majority of clients, say 60%, are in Raleigh. Therefore, I want to allocate a larger percentage of my budget to the area I'm most likely to generate new customers. Rather than selecting the Raleigh-Durham DMA, I'll select Wake County, which is where Raleigh is located. I'll create a campaign and allocate 60% of my Google Ads budget. Then I'll create a campaign for Durham and a campaign for Chapel Hill and allocate 20% of the budget to each. An added benefit is that I'll be able to track contacts such as calls and form fills for each area. If it turns out that they're more expensive or the conversion rate is lower or higher for that matter, I can adjust my budgets to where I'm getting the business. Another approach is to target by zip code instead of city, county, or DMA. Returning to Wake County, if the service I provide is expensive, I may want to only target zip codes above a certain household income level. When we start to move to the regional or national level, we can target by state or we can target the U.S. and then exclude individual states if we don't sell into those markets. Alaska and Hawaii can be an issue if you sell a product that is expensive to ship, so those would be obvious states to exclude. You've probably heard me talk about testing before, and here's something we learned almost by accident. We were advertising for a legal client and targeting about a dozen states in the Midwest. Our cost per click was consistently in the low $30 range. The client was ready to expand to the entire U.S., so we created a new campaign. Everything was the same except the geographic targeting and budget. When the campaign started, clicks were running at $90 each. My first reaction was, what the hell? We weren't going to wait around and see if this was a competitive issue or Google just thought they could charge more because the budget was larger or if it was something else. I speculated that we might be able to get back to the $30 clicks if we tried advertising on a regional basis again. We set up a campaign for the West Coast, basically all the states west of the Rockies, and sure enough, the cost per clicks were coming in around $30. The next question was, would this work for the rest of the country? So we set up campaigns that roughly divided the country into 3 regions, divided the budget evenly, and fired it up. Sure enough, the cost per click stayed in the low $30 range for all the campaigns, and they continue to produce results to this day. Google is pretty good about figuring out where someone is and whether or not they meet your criteria for geographic inclusion and targeting. But there are limitations, and when someone isn't signed into the Chrome browser, Google is limited in what they can see. They're also making assumptions based on geographical search terms, which could indicate that someone is in that area or they have curiosity about that area, but they aren't physically there. Google also gives itself some latitude in where your ads are shown. When setting up a campaign, the default location option is presence or interest, people regularly in, or who've shown interest in your targeted locations. This is Google's recommended setting. Someone that's shown interest in your locations could have many reasons for doing so, but has no intention of traveling there or buying anything there. That means someone in a foreign country could express interest in the area you're targeting, but their reason is because they want to sell you something, not purchase your product or service. Something we've been doing for a number of years now is excluding everywhere we don't want to advertise. For Google, we created a list of all the countries in the world in a spreadsheet. We can copy and paste that into Google under the bulk upload feature. We've also created a list of all the states in the U.S. We can copy and paste when the advertiser is local to a region or city. By excluding everywhere that we aren't targeting, we eliminate the bad traffic that isn't ever going to convert. It's not a 100% foolproof solution, but you'll solve 98% of the problem of traffic from outside your targeted locations. There are options to exclude in all the social media platforms we advertise on, and it will help to keep your ads showing in the geographic areas that you want. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.